So first of all, it's pretty hard to judge this game holistically. Keenan Allen, best receiver for the Chargers, out, facing Patrick Mahomes. Corey Linsley, Pro Bowl center, gets hurt. Another offensive lineman for the Chargers gets hurt. Justin Herbert gets hurt. So a pretty heroic effort by Herbert. I thought the first half, the Chargers controlled it and didn't take a big enough lead. And therefore, when Mahomes strikes, which he does, you got to have quite a lead built up at Arrowhead against Mahomes. And it was one big mistake on the pick six for Herbert, which, by the way, I did not see it as a mistake by Herbert. It looked like Everett, the tight end for the Chargers, wanted to come out of the game, was gassed, and ran kind of a lazy route. So that goes on Justin Herbert, but I thought it was the tight end Everett who ran a lousy route and didn't finish it and was signaling to take himself out of the game on the previous play. He was gassed. I will say this is my concern about the Chargers, because I think top to bottom you can certainly make the argument. Many of the people in the league that I trust think the Chargers have the best roster along with the Bills in the National Football League. Is that in 2 games with the Chargers, I think they've underachieved offensively. So one thing about LA that's really easy to spot is Mac and Bosa and that defense, they bring a lot of heat. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was knocked off his spot, a little bit unsettled in the first half. If you watch the Chargers in the first half, they forced Reed and Mahomes, out of respect, Reed and Mahomes, really very few deep drops. It was get rid of the ball as fast as you can. Well, that's Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes telling you we have so much respect for their rush. We don't want to put Patrick Mahomes in the crosshairs and get buried. So in the first half, the Chiefs' game plan was telling you how much respect they had for Bosa, Mack, Derwin James, and the rest. And again, the Chargers just didn't put enough points on the board. But what concerns me about the Chargers, and I've been talking about this now for over a year on all my platforms, young quarterbacks are better served with offensive head coaches. Brandon Staley, defensive head coach. Herbert was the best quarterback in the league not to make the playoffs last year. And in 2 games I've watched them, their defensive line mauled Derek Carr, 3 picks. They didn't put him away until the very end. Didn't put the Raiders away with 3 picks. Of the 42 dropbacks Derek Carr had in that game, he was pressured on 32 of them, hit or sacked. 32 of 42, 3 picks. Didn't put him away until the end. And the Chargers have a better roster than the Raiders, especially on defense. And then in this game, they left too many points on the table. I don't think it's an overly creative offense. Joe Lombardi's been in this league for a long time. I think they're at times too reliant. And again, no Keenan Allen, but kind of reliant on safe throws, stuff thrown before the sticks. I just don't see enough clever with the Chargers offense. It doesn't make me think. It doesn't surprise me. And again, tonight's tough. Herbert's in pain. Corey Linsley's out. Keenan Allen's out. You're at Arrowhead. Hard to hear. I get that. But in 2 games, that's my takeaway. This was the best quarterback in the league last year that didn't make the playoffs, as the NFL added another playoff team to both conferences. And I watch them right now, and I think to myself, they're just not creative enough offensively. And it's not an offensive line issue. They've upgraded that. It's not a Herbert issue. I mean, they've drafted wide receivers well. They have a nice tight end. They have capable backs. Am I seeing what you're seeing? I've got my issues with the Chargers offense. Herbert was a 4-point biology major GPA, a tutor in college. Give him more. Make him think. You can pile a lot on that kid, even though he's only at the beginning of his 3rd year. In terms of Kansas City, listen, I thought they were a little bit overwhelmed at the line of scrimmage in the first half, and they came back and won the game thanks to a great defensive play. So your Kansas City, this matchup is usually tight. It was tight again. They almost botched that onside kick. But you're going to be in a lot of close games over the next 10 years with Herbert and the Chargers. And Kansas City does this. Mahomes has his halves and his stretches where he looks a little off, but in the end, he made some big-time plays, and Kansas City's defense came to the rescue. But my bigger takeaway was, despite the injuries, I'm not seeing a Charger offense throw the ball past the sticks, take big swings, big chances. Herbert should maybe roll out more. He's really big and really mobile. Most of the stuff is all 5-step drop, sit in the pocket stuff. A little disappointed, not just in the loss, but just situationally, first 2 games, I'm bored with the Chargers offense. Be more multiple, more motions, more personnel groupings, more clever. I'd like to see it.